Verse 131. Discrimination, that which is discriminated, and the setting up of discrimination. Binding, that which is bound, and its cause. These six are conditions of liberation. So this verse is describing our situation. We have a tendency to discriminate, which means that we separate one thing from another. We are embedded in a process of discrimination. There's something going on, and within that something going on, we discriminate various other things going on. We discriminate objects, people, events. This is a natural tendency. This is the setting up of discrimination. And then we enter into a connection with these things which are going on. We get bound to them. They become our reality. This is, again, a natural inclination, a natural disposition. It's like getting sucked into something, getting sucked into a whirlpool. It's a natural thing to happen. But this last phrase is a bit strange. These six are conditions of liberation. Well, they're really conditions of what we could call, of what's usually called ignorance. How can they be conditions of liberation? It's been pointed out before that there are no conditions for liberation. Liberation is not something which is conditioned. Liberation is unconditioned. So how can these six be conditions of liberation? I thought perhaps this might be a mistake first of all. But actually, it's not that these six are conditions of liberation. It's when you see what's going on. It's when you see these six in operation that you've got at least the beginning of liberation. So rather than believing that there's a reality out there and there's an individual entity here experiencing that reality out there, we see that there's discrimination going on and that there's binding to that discrimination. And what is it that's being bound? What is it that's being bound by this discrimination? It's the attention. The attention is being constantly identified with these discriminations. And what is the cause? Well, this is worth looking into. And it's worth looking into very deeply. Why are we discriminating right now? And why are we getting bound up with these particular discriminations? To put it in everyday terms, or very immediate terms, we tend to see the world in a certain way. This is our discrimination. And we get bound to that way of seeing the world. This is the binding. But what's the cause? What's the cause? And it's not something which has really been spelled out very clearly in the traditional texts. But it seems to me that the cause is cause for our getting bound to particular discriminations, the cause is our moods. Our present mood is our present reality. Our present mood is what disposes us to experience things in a certain way. And our present mood is what binds us to that experience. So if we can see this, then we've, at least to a certain extent, a certain degree, dissociated ourselves from the mood, from our mood. Whether it's a good mood or a bad mood, it's still a mood. And it's a very deep thing, our mood. It's that strongly ingrained habit pattern. It's our emotional comfort zone, even if it is very uncomfortable. It's what we're hanging on to. It's what we're bound to. And if we can stop justifying our mood, if we can stop feeling that our mood is perfectly appropriate, and see how it's limiting us to a particular aspect of dukkha or suffering. If we can see this, then we've taken a step towards liberation.